Welcome. Thanks for joining me today. Today we're going to look at what might be called glyphs or flourishes or characters. And how to add them to Canvas Workspace so you can cut them out and create great projects with them. So this has always been a bit of a tricky subject because, one, people call them different things. In my head, they're glyphs. So if I refer to them as glyphs, I'm talking about those pretty little detailed ends that you put onto wording. Flourishes in my head could mean that, but they're more the picture type designs. So it depends on your terminology. And if you're on a Windows machine, which is what I'm on today, they might be called characters because we are going to use the character map to bring in these flourishes. So I'll just pop that up on the screen. There we go. Just move it over a little bit. And that is the Windows character map. So there are other maps that you might be able to utilize. One of them is main type. I'll bring that up too. So this is main type. I'll just make it bigger for a second. You can do a number of things with this. I haven't got it quite all in screen at the moment. But basically this is an add-on to Windows or Mac, and you can do a very similar thing to character map. For me, it is a little bit more squishy to see the characters or the glyphs, but it does depend on what you like. And the bonus about the main type is that you can organize your fonts in it, whereas character map is purely viewing the characters and using them. Anyway, I'll minimize that. I won't do anything with main type. I'm just letting you know that it is an option, and that is available for Mac and PC. Now, I know I said it looks a bit squishier, but the advantage of this one is it's very easy to use. And just say this one, and it kind of pops up. So you can see, I'll try and zoom in on this when I edit this video. You can see easier what the character is. So while you can't see it that great in this mode, and it doesn't really, like I can't get the arrows to change it, and you can't make it bigger. So it's a little bit dinky. However, it does the job. And it's quite easy to see the characters once you click on them. So I know all of that bottom row are heart type characters. Some of them have got letters. I'm in the Barbie script for this one. So some fonts have glyphs and flourishes and others do not. This particular one does have additional features. So this one here is like it's an F with a heart. I picked a heart one. This font I've got off of Creative Fabrica, and I'll leave a link below. They have hundreds of fonts. I'll just bring that up as well. So they've got for free fonts. Now, I don't think the Barbie was a free font, but if you have a membership, it is free. So subscription, it's free. They've got a big special one at the moment. But download free font styles. 4,681 results. Huge amount. So this one here didn't have glyphs, but it's very fancy. This is their newest free font, and heaps, just heaps. This will be glyphs on that one. See the little heart. Wherever you get your font, this is how you use it. So we'll just minimize the character map for starters. So I'm in the downloaded version of Canvas Workspace, and I'm going over to the T to bring in some text. And I'm just going to write that, which is quite nice but fairly ordinary. So if you click away, you can see nothing to do with the font there at all. When you highlight the font or select it so that the blue box is around it, you get these other options. So one of the key options is cut or draw. So you can change whether you cut or draw it. You can add a bit of colour here, say it's going over to the edit panel. It makes it just a little bit easy. This is the outside stroke or the outside line, and it's black. And I'll just zoom in a little bit so you can see a bit better. So this icon here, also in the edit, in the overall properties panel under properties, you'll see it on the right, is what governs that. If you add colour to the inside, it's the fill colour, and that is there. It's transparent at the moment. We'll leave it like that for a minute. You can change the point, only works really with drawing, doesn't really work for cutting at all, so there's no point if you're doing a cut file. You also have the drop down here, which gives you all the fonts. Scroll bar, and you would scroll down and find the font you want, and there's my Barbie script, which is the one I'm going to play with today. So I will click on that and it will automatically change. So what I can see here is, and I'll just make it a little bit bigger again for you and change my magnifier back to my little pointer, is some joins. So if you cut it out like this, it will cut those pieces out. They are all cut lines. You have the option of moving your L closer so it links in, and then going into the edit panel and scrolling down and welding it. But we're not going to do that just yet. We are going to add some glyphs. And I'll just scroll back out. Now the easiest way to add a glyph is once you've got it on here. So I just want in the E, we'll replace the E. So we'll just delete the E and we will bring up that character map and we will find an E. So we're at F there, so A, B, C, D, E. No, lucky bad guess. C, that is an E. So we can select it by clicking on the select button. It pops it in there. We can copy, and you can highlight it and right click and copy too. Copy, click back into your design that you're working on, your wording design, and Control V on a PC will paste it, or you can right click and paste. Let's just put another one in and go right click and paste. We will select that bit and just hit the delete key and delete, because I don't want two of those. So now we've got a new E with a little heart. And what if we just make this a little bit more interesting and go U. Let's go back out again a little bit. So that's going to be quite big for anything you do. So just grab the handles and adjust in to about the size you want. Looking at the grid, you would use that as a bit of a guide. Or over here on the right, you can see that it's 7.13 wide and 2.47 high. So depending on what you're doing with this, just say we're going to create a HTV design to pop on a shirt or something. That would certainly support that size. If you're making a card, maybe not, we'll just make it a little bit bigger. Now you can change any of these letters. So I've just popped a little heart in the middle, but just say you wanted to change the L, that works exactly the same. You would click in between the L and the O, delete the L, bring up the character map, work out which character you would like. And I happen to know that this one, they've automatically put the flourish character in. So you could add something different if you wanted to. They've got a smaller L in here that has a bit of flourish on it, but I actually like that flourish as it is. But what I don't like or don't want, I'll just minimise that again, is the fact that it's got that gap. Just mosey in a little bit more. So that gap there, I don't want that gap. So the simple solution for that is to remove your L, and then we will click away from that, put the T. So I've clicked on the text to add a new rounded text, and we will put the L in. I just need to move out so I can see what I'm doing, and we'll move that across the page a little bit, bring that up, and now I've got full movement. Now you could subtract, however you are going to have to deal with all the other letters to do that. So adding this separately in this instant is a much better solution. And then it's just a matter of working out where you place it. Now, it's got the line there. Just would like this a little bit bigger so you could see it. So we'll use our guideline. So there's that line there. Or we could have this bottom bit a bit lower to match in with this. So then you would perhaps line it up with the line on here, and then you can just bring it down, sit it on the line, however you like. So I am just going to make it just in between. So I think that looks all right. You select both boxes, and I'll just zoom in again so you can see that that piece there is touching, those pieces are there are touching, and we go over into the right panel, into edit, scroll down, and we will go weld. And magically all those little cut lines disappear. If you have trouble, just say this gave me an error message to say it could not weld, so some fonts will not weld easily. I would have welded that first box separately and then welded that second one. And then if you still have trouble, you can add your letters individually and just do 2 at a time. Sometimes the little nodes get a bit twisted and Canvas will say, no, you can't weld that because there's a twist in the node. So we'll add a bit of colour so you can see what it looks like. Line it back up there, get my select tool again. We'll use this box. You can use this one as well. You can see the icon is just the same. This one just says fill and this one doesn't. This one's handy. The other one you have to go and change screens. We'll put a pinky colour in there, I reckon, because I like pink. Nobody knew that. I know that. You all just thought I used pink because there you go. So that's the easy way to add glyphs, flourishes or characters, whatever you choose to call them. Okay, remember to subscribe down below, and I'll put some links to some of these things I've talked about in the wording, so below. And like you join me on my webpage, greatwithsue.com, and my Facebook group with the same name. All right, catch you everyone. Bye.